Hi, this is Ben from Trident PDR, and in this video we're going to be looking at the glue pulling process, some knocking down tips and blending. So here we've got a Renault Megane rail. We've got multiple dents, some nice and round, some shallow, some a bit deeper, and we've got a nice crease that's running back to front as well, which is slightly more awkward. For me, it's a good idea on repairs like this, where you've got multiple things going on, to get some quick wins. So personally, I'd hit some of the lighter bits first, make it easier for yourself just to get into the flow of the rail, get a feel for how the metal's moving, and get some quick wins basically. Make you feel good about yourself and how the repair's going, rather than getting bogged down with some of the heavier duty stuff first and blowing your mind. So first things first, let's talk about some of the tools I've chosen to do this job. That leather tip knockdown you're going to see a lot. I use that probably 90% of the time. It doesn't affect the orange peel on the paint at all, and it moves a lot of metal in real fast. It's a very smooth tool to use. I've also chosen to use a mini lifter on this rail because the metal is super soft, and if you're using a slide hammer you're going to pull that metal so high and leave yourself a lot of tapping down work. Also in doing that you're going to leave some massive lows either sides of dents, just creating yourself a lot more work. So this is the other tap down I use as well. Very rarely use anything sharper than this. I've got the rubber tip on there so it's not marking the paint or making any dimple marks. It's going to keep things super smooth. So by this stage of the repair, I've already moved down the rail a certain amount. While I'm waiting for glue tabs to go off, I've already started the blending process further back. Stuff I've already pulled up, I can see some highs and lows, just working around it, and that crease as well had some crown work, just starting to work that down also. So with the mini lifter, I'm never looking to snap the glue tab off, I'm just flexing gently and tightening the tension wheel. This way you're going to get a smoother pull, there's less risk of breaking the paint. When you're working on a rail like this, it's always good to get different angles while you're tapping down. Look below the dent, look above the dent, it gives you a good point of cross-checking. So I'm a bit further down the rail now, and this dent is actually a bit of an elongated crease, and there was quite a bit of crown work around it as well. So I've started off with a bit of blending from a further distance so I can see those crowns and work those down. Now personally, I prefer to start blending further out and blending into the dent rather than starting at the dent and working away. Reason being, I'd much rather try and work that metal back into the dent where it should be, rather than elongating and blowing out into a wide shallow. So let's have a look at where we're at. I've hit all the dents at this stage, apart from the elongated crease. I'm saving that till last. I just want those quick easy wins to get this repair going as quick as possible. We're probably about 70 to 80% here, and it's a good point to stop, flip that light around and work the rail with the exact same techniques from the other direction. So let's have a look at this crease. I went in with a centipede tab to bring up the bulk of it in one hit, which pretty much happened. After that was done, I did go in with quite a few more tabs just to pick some extra little bits up. Again, blending, tapping, looking from the bottom, looking from the top, just getting every angle on it, because when you work in a crease you can never look straight down the rail like that. You have to be looking from the top and the bottom, both when pulling and when tapping down, and especially when blending. So we're into the final stages of the removal now, just some last tap downs to do. Notice I'm still using that leather tip knockdown because I've been using the mini lifter with smooth pulls. I've not had to do anything too aggressive tap down wise, so we've kept things smooth and flowing throughout the whole process. So let's look at the blending process. It was literally the last 5 or 10 minutes of the repair. So we're going to be at arm's length, we're going to get that head as close to the panel as possible and that light far away as possible. Again, working the rail down one way, and then I'm going to turn that light around, get even more distance and work it back up the other way to finish. The more distance between you and the dent and the light in the dent, the more detail you're going to see, and ultimately you're going to be able to blend out with such a clean finish. It's imperative you have that distance. So let's have a look. As you'll have noticed, I've always got that one strip on my light that I like to drag down a panel. Any deviation in that, whether it pinches, flares out, we know we've got lows or high spots we need to deal with. So it's just keeping that line as uniform as possible and as smooth as possible. Again, checking both directions. You might not see something one way, you might pick something up the other direction. Cross check, cross check, cross check, and then cross check again. Lastly, a quick shout out to Martin Sadler of Dent Remover Hull for passing the job through. Certainly go and check that guy's YouTube channel out, he's got some great informative videos. So hopefully you found this video informative, maybe picked up some tips and techniques to try out for yourself, might even have some tips and techniques for me to try out. Every day's a school day. Leave us a comment in the comments section below, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out to watch, and we'll see you next time.